Hey everyone, welcome to Founders 365 with me, Steven Haggerty. Today I'm joined by Giuseppe Baidoo, hopefully I got that right, founder of Gsto
Indeed.
Snacks. How are you today?
I'm doing well, thank you. Thank you for having me here today.
Thank you for being here. Thanks for your time. I always appreciate people's times. And I guess we'll just jump straight into this and try and get an overview and an understanding of what you do, what your business is. If you can give me a little bit of summary and then we can jump into the
Yeah,
story.
yeah, indeed. So, I'm the founder of Güsto Snacks. This is a sustainable business that focuses on reducing food waste. So we work with farmers and save fruit that would have otherwise be wasted. And then we turn them into dried fruit snacks. So we launched last year, and then started raising a bit of funding here and there, and then we are officially launching in stores by end of November. So yeah,
Amazing.
pretty much. Yeah,
Exciting times, right? So
yeah.
let's rewind a little bit then. At what stage did you go, you know what, this is a business that is one tangible and two important to me?
So sorry, repeat the question.
You distracted, man. You distracted. Focus. The question was, at what stage did you look at the potential of Gsto Snacks and think, okay, this is something I can do, this is something I can create, this is something I can bring to market?
Oh yeah. I mean, before Gusto Snacks, I already launched in about 2016 another business that was pretty much the same concept, but instead of snacks, it was drinks, and it was called OOZE Drinks. And then it didn't go that well, so I already knew kind of the potential of the business. It's just, the experience that I didn't have in with the
Mm.
previous business that I launched. So using the experience I gained from Who's Drinks, then I launched Gusto Snacks, and that's pretty much going well. So yeah,
Let's talk about that then, because I think learning from failure, learning from things that don't go to plan is always the best way to learn.
yeah,
With
yeah.
Ooze Drinks, what went wrong, do you think, and at what stage did you go, okay, this is a time for me to sort of call it quits? Because often that's one of the hardest things to do, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. I think with Ooze was more of at some point when I started, it was all pretty good, because when you start your new business, you
So it was
see it as amazing.
exciting. It's like the
Yeah,
honeymoon period.
and then you just realize that you just go up, and at some point you start falling down so quickly. But it was really, I really enjoy. Obviously, there was some times where it was difficult, because you have to learn how to balance your job with your side hustle,
Hmm.
and it's not easy, because you have other companies that are competing with you that are on full time, and you still have to be at the same level while
Yeah.
you are doing two things at the time. But I think by at the end of 2018, I completely didn't have any cash with me. I
Everything was
burned out
burnt
all the.
out. You were
It was burned
tired.
out.
The
Yeah,
cash was
I,
gone.
wa- I raised with whose drinks. I was able to raise about around 25,000. But with product development, pushing the business, I thought
Hmm.
I would have been able to get somewhere with what I had,
Yeah.
because 20,000 is quite enough. But yeah, doing mistakes at times, because you just learning, and then but
Yeah.
at some point I didn't have anything, and I think I really found it a bit difficult to accept that I have to leave it and maybe push something else, because
Yeah.
I spent about 3 years trying to build something, and it's really, I think at that point it was more of my family around me that actually started pushing me, like, look, you have, if you were able to do this, especially my sister, like, if you have been able to do this, you can pretty much do much more,
You can
so
do anything.
yeah, so from there I started saying, okay, let me just try again, and then yeah, here we are.
That's it. I'm curious to know what with Snacks versus Ooze. What's one of the
Hmm.
biggest learnings that you've transferred over into the new venture that you learned from? either mistakes or even from the successes of OOZE that you've adopted into Gsto Snacks?
Yeah, so there is so many, but the
So many.
first 3 points, yeah. First 3 points are, I think, first of all, don't when you start a business, don't quickly leave your job as if, as if the business is already running, until you are sure that you can live on it 100%. Don't leave it. Try and, adjust your time around it.
Hmm.
And then, continue working and, whether part time or full time, but never leave your job until you are fully sure that your
Mm.
business is self sustainable.
Get that side hustle
Um,
growing.
yeah. Two, also, get out there as much as possible with your idea. Speak to people because so many founders, when they start, they feel like somebody is going to steal their idea.
Yeah.
So they just don't want to share it. But, trust me, starting a business is not easy. Nobody has the, ability to do that. So don't think that every person you meet is just going to go out there and just start a whole business from scratch, So it's good to meet new people and share ideas. You never know. That is your, you may meet your investor. So do that. And third, also try as much as possible to get people who may help you to grow around you. At times we think we can do things on our own, but I think building a team around you is really important. So yeah.
Yeah, the team dynamic is always an interesting one, which we'll come
Hmm.
into in a minute. But over the last year, a year ago you launched, and then this year has been very, let's just say, tricky is the right
Yeah.
word to say in terms of what's going on. How has it been for you in terms of building this new business and making sure that you guys are, like you said, being seen by the right people, being heard by the right people, and of course, getting your product in front of the right people?
Yeah, I think this year has been tough in terms of, because obviously we
Just
had
life.
few yeah, it's pretty much live. Nobody was expecting it. But one thing I would say is that we got a bit lucky in the sense that we were supposed to launch officially in stores in January, but then the manufacturer delayed, and then the pandemic came in. So, that really saved us a lot because at that point, stores were not getting product. Once the
Hmm.
pandemic started, stores started, everybody started struggling. So, we had quite a lot of products ready to come in. So that kind of helped us to, um, organize ourselves in a different way and then launch, later this year. And obviously, I learned again something new, and that is pretty much you have to have patience at times because we were really, really even complaining at times that, oh, why the manufacturer is delaying, and then, now, we are pretty much fortunate that the stores, everybody, I think that in the beginning, everybody was struggling, but now people have really, settled. People are taking it as, life now. The
Hmm.
pandemic is pretty much part of us. So now stores are open to take our products. So, we just,
Fantastic.
that, yeah.
You mentioned that one of the values of Gusto Snacks is that you want to be sustainable. You want to make sure that
Hmm.
food waste is being decreased. Has that been something that's always been important to you, or is that something you saw, you discovered, and then you thought, I want to do something about this. I want to be the guy that helps change this.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've always loved sustainability. I think when you look at sustainable products, they're pretty cool. I don't know, there is always this touch of futuristic, touch to it. I really love it. So also when I was in Italy, I did my national service and I choose to do it in rather than the army, I went to in a charity to help them, and I really understood how much food is being wasted in that environment
Wow.
because we're going to farmers, we're going to stores to pick goods, and sometimes most of the stuff we couldn't even pick it because we were not allowed for because of policies and laws and things like
Just
that. So
crazy stuff.
yeah, food would just go to waste for no reason.
No.
So from there, I always had this thing at the back of my mind that if one day I was to do something, that would be pretty much, about around sustainability and,
Amazing.
helping the community in general as
So,
well.
I mean, I guess my next question has to be,
Mhm.
how are you sustainable? How are you making sure that you guys are, not wasting food if it doesn't if
Yeah.
it doesn't need to be?
Yeah, so what we are actually pushing ourselves to do as much as possible is to have all our supply chain sustainable. So that means if in case, let's say, also with our manufacturer, we're having talks of, okay, let's say if we go and buy the fruits from the farmers, even if the ones that we can use, how can we find a different way of, repurposing it, maybe sending it, to different food banks, or even our packaging. Right now, our packaging is not 100% compostable, but we still want to do it. It costs a bit of money extra, but I think it's worth it because
Mm.
also right now, a lot of people have understood that there is so much going on in terms of environmental issues. So people are also willing to pay a little bit more for our product. So yeah, pretty much that's what we're trying to do.
And how difficult has it been to fix those issues? You mentioned the packaging not quite
Mm.
being 100% compostable there. How difficult is it to solve this when you come up against this as obviously as the founder of the business?
I think it's quite difficult because obviously, everything goes around funding. Because obviously we're talking about business here, and business is about making profit, but at the same time, you also want to do the right things. So if you are a sustainable, sometimes people ask me, if you are a sustainable business, then why is your packaging still not 100%
Yeah.
sustainable? Because when some people don't have, a 100% understanding of how the business works, everybody thinks you just flick, your fingers like that and things just fall in place. But, you know, bringing up a sustainable packaging is tough to do that because, all the materials that are used to build that packaging are pretty much expensive. That's why everybody use plastic in
Yeah,
general.
it's
But yeah,
cheap.
so if most of the businesses don't take that route, because obviously their margins are not adding up. If we all had the money available, like Apple does, everybody will be going around, testing around and stuff like that. But it's not that quite easy. Yeah.
But what's curious to me is that you obviously have a real passion for that sustainability because like
Yeah.
you just said, you could go down that route of having plastic because it is cheap and it is so widely used. So
Yeah.
for you, where do you see this morphing into the future? Where do you see sort of Gsto Snacks formulating in the marketplace? Where do you want to stand in that side?
Yeah, I mean, I've always said as a founder, I always want my business to be one of the leading sustainable company in Europe. Maybe bring innovation before any
Big
other
task.
company. Yeah, and because some of the companies just focus on profit, but at times profits will also come out from you risking. So if we are able to bring out something that no other person has done or no other sustainable business has done, I think that will put us even in an advantage position
Mm.
whereby other businesses will follow us and then do the same thing. So I think
How,
that's pretty much our.
you mentioned earlier that obviously OOZE didn't go to plan, and you got Gusto Snacks now, and sounds like it's going to plan so far. How are you going to make sure that Gusto Snacks sort of carries on that upward route and doesn't go the same way as OOZE drinks?
Yeah, I think one of the things I did is, first of all, as soon as I started the business, I started contacting people that I know they have much more experience in that field,
Yeah.
in the field that I'm currently, working at. And I think that really helps because it prevents me from doing the same mistakes. There are certain things I didn't know how to do.
Can't
And
make
I
the
mean,
same
for example,
mistake
yeah,
twice.
yeah, that's the thing. I have a lot of experience in marketing and product design and, and the branding side of the business. But when it comes to the financial aspects of the business, it's quite difficult for me at times. So I got somebody who is really good, and also
Excellent.
in sales, I got somebody who is really good. So we currently all working in the business, and obviously, right now, we are not actually all full time on it, but there were shares. I was able to, use that one to
Exactly.
convince people to join me. So yeah.
You bring me on to my next sort of topic here,
Hmm.
and it's team, it's environment. How important is getting that right team around you, and how did you find that right team? You mentioned that you brought on a sales guy and a finance guy because they're not your strong suits, which are exactly what you
Hmm.
should do. But how did you go about finding them, and how did you know that when you did find them, they were the right person?
Yeah, I think okay. I mean, having people around is really important because, like I said before, you can do everything. To be honest, one, you just burn out.
Yeah,
Two,
straight away.
you don't have experience in everything. You can focus on one side of the business, which can be great, but trying to do everything is quite, it's not realistic. So. Um, I went to different events. Also, I had some friends that I knew that I knew that they were already doing certain things. So through them as well, I was able to connect with other people, and that really helped. And then, yeah, in terms of how somebody can, contribute in the business, I think we as a team in the Gusto Snacks team, we are pretty much understanding each other as we're going forward because straight away you don't know, we can just understand if somebody is really good by just working with them, to be honest. Obviously everybody can put on their CV that they have done this, they have done that, they have done that, but what really matters is how you're going to
CV
work
versus
together. So
reality.
yeah, so I think as we're going forward, we have all adjusted, on how, on our works. We have all, taken, learned something from each other,
Exactly.
and then yeah, then now we are
What
pretty
about
much
you
good.
personally? What support network do you have in place? Obviously, you mentioned your sister's a big inspiration
Yeah.
earlier. What else is in your support network that inspires you and means to, you know, carry on that motivation when things perhaps aren't going to plan?
Oh yeah, first of all, most of the people I have around me do business pretty much. So, for example, even my
It's a good
mom,
start.
she live in Africa right now, but she does business. My dad as well. My little sister, she's a YouTuber with 140,000 followers.
Nice.
My my big sister, she has her own brand as well. So,
No
you
pressure
know.
on you then at all.
Yeah. I think we just motivate each other in terms of, we keep on seeing each other struggle, and we also keep on understanding that, there is struggle, but all of us, we keep growing as well. So, that is already a motivation for me.
Yeah.
And then also outside from the family, I'm always getting support from different organizations as well. For example, we got support from Shell, we got support from Santander, NatWest, and all of
Brilliant.
this. Yeah, all of these companies have been able to support us with,
Fantastic.
funding and, yeah.
So Gsto Snacks planning to be, hopefully, fingers crossed, touch wood, everything goes to plan, in stores later this year.
Oh, yeah.
How do you think that moment is going to feel when you walk into a store and you see your product on a shelf for people ready to buy? It's there, all the hard work has paid off, but also kind of just the beginning of the next stage as well.
Yeah, yeah. I just can't wait, to be honest. I just can't wait.
Be like
It's been a
Christmas.
long. Trust me, it's been a long journey since I started. That was since 2016, that I'm trying to get this product into stores. So, every time I walk into a store, I look at the brands, I'm like, one day I'm just gonna have my product here and
You
there.
look at it, you
I
go, you
just
know
can't
what's
wait.
missing? My product.
Indeed, I think that would be really, really an amazing feeling, and I think that would be also another step, of towards achieving what I want. So that would
Yeah.
be also another chapter because getting into stores is not finished. You just once you get into stores, you are fighting with all the other brands on
Yeah.
the shelf. So yeah.
What what was the decision behind going into stores versus what a lot of brands are doing now in terms of like really pushing the e-commerce side and connecting to consumers directly?
Yeah, I mean, we trying to do both. As a startup, I think pretty much one thing I've learned is testing. Is not just focusing your cash, on in one side of the business. Online. Right now, we are setting up our online platform, e-commerce, working with. We also have a distributor who is willing to sell online for us. So yeah, we pretty much focusing on both sides because like we said, the pandemic it's causing a bit of trouble in terms of the high street stores. So
Hmm.
it wouldn't be advisable to put all our efforts in the high street stores. Yeah,
No, I mean e-commerce is always the way to go, direct to
yeah,
consumers. But like you said, it's nice to have both. It's nice to be able for your
yeah.
customers to see your product in stores, but also connect with you guys online, follow the story, because
Hmm.
so many customers now or just want that human to human connection. They want to find out
Yeah,
who's behind the
yeah,
brand, what's the
indeed.
story, and you can obviously do that so much easier when you're connecting them and building them on your own platform. One of my final questions to you then is, once this is in store and you
Hmm.
see it in store, what's next? What is next for the Gusto Snack range,
Yeah.
the brand, the business?
Oh yeah, indeed. So we have a lot. We have already planned a lot of flavors we want to bring in the shops, basically. There is quite different flavors because we want to be want to bring innovation in the flavor propositions. We've seen that in the air dried snacks, air dried apple snacks or fruit snacks. There isn't
Yeah.
that much going on. And then we
You should
want to
see
so
my
we want to
kitchen.
play.
I'm always making air dried apples.
Oh wow! So I'll send you some samples
There we go.
definitely.
There we go. That's what I want.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, we want to bring a lot of flavors, things that other brands haven't done. So right now we have apple crepes with a bit of mango juice, and then we have also apple crepes with coconut with coconut flavor. So we want
You're
to
making me
expand
hungry,
that.
man.
We want to expand that and then also bring different sizes of our packs as well,
Yeah.
and then still keep that focus towards reducing also sugar in there. Obviously, it's snacks, it's fruits, and there is occurring sugars inside, but at the same time we still want to keep it low and be careful at that because eating healthy and
It's all the
is
trend.
the main thing. Yeah, pretty
It's a,
much.
I mean, listen, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for sharing your story. I really look forward to the day that I can walk into a shop and see
Oh
your
yeah.
brand on the shelves. I would definitely be taking a photo and send it to you because that's going to be a huge moment for you.
Oh yeah, indeed. I'll probably send the picture to you first.
Yeah, we'll just keep sending photos to each
Oh
other
yeah,
of your
indeed.
products. But I
Yeah.
guess my final question is: how can people
Mhm.
follow your story? How can people follow Gusto Snacks? What's the easiest way for them to find you?
Oh yeah, so we are on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can follow Snacks on Instagram and Facebook's Gusto Snacks, and then you can also follow my own personal Instagram page, which is Giuseppe Bai, and yeah, that's pretty much where you can find me.
Love it. Like I said, I wish you all the best, and thank you so much for coming on Founders
Thank
365.
you, Steven, for having me here today. I really
Thanks
enjoyed
everyone
it.
else. Fantastic.
Yeah,
Thanks
thank
everyone
you.
else for watching and listening. This has been Founders 365.
Yes.